The beard has been a sign of wisdom and regarded as a symbol of wealth and power. Throughout history, since prehistoric times, the beard has been reveled for warmth, protection, and intimidation. So why did some over time start stripping their natural animalistic protections built into their DNA to conform with social norms, while others basked in the abnormality of being one with their natural facial hair, leading to the progression of our current era social construct of furthering our own personal identities and external projections of individuality? You might have an idea of who a bearded man is, but do you really know who is behind the beard? Let's talk to real men with real beards, the gals who love them and the barbers who tame them, to see how they live, what impacts their beard has on their daily lives. And who knows, by the end of this documentary, even you might start growing a beard.
All my friends are bearded, you should know. Hashtag never shave, I let it grow. You have a shaved face, well, that's cute. But look what my bearded friends can do. All my friends are bearded, you should know. Hashtag never shave, I let it grow. You have a shaved face, well, that's cute. But look what my bearded friends.
Off and on since I could start growing a beard, about almost 15 years. Quality beard? I would say probably about past 8 years.
When you started growing a beard?
It's sweet. Beards are awesome. They make you look manly, and being in a manly profession, it's somewhat necessary, I feel. I previously owned an iron company where we did ornamental iron and all sorts of welding, structural welding, artistic things, and I currently work for a water agency.
Be what you ain't, unless you do one thing you must know. Well, that if you dig deep and go way below all the feelings of yourself from the TV show, you'll see you're special from the first breath blown, and now you're looking in the mirror, you're a superhero. Yeah, you're a superhero. If you had a little more time, you could finally see the world. If you made $1 billion, well, you could change it.
I think my beard is a decent beard, but then you see somebody else's beard and you're like, oh man, I wish I had his beard.
Warren is more attractive with a beard. He's more attractive to me now than he was without a beard.
Growing up as a kid, I didn't have many relatives that had beards. My uncle Donald had a beard, looked like Santa all the time.
Snuffy.
Snuffy had a beard occasionally, but nothing really turned me on to having beards when I was a young kid. I had an aunt that had a beard, but you know, that was kind of cool. But nothing big. Later in life, I became a fireman. Hello?
Hello.
Duty calls?
Just wanted to touch bases with everybody, seeing where everybody's sitting, making sure everybody's available. With these fires burning down in Southern California, if they pull for, you know, all of them, or even just a couple, I mean, we very well could be getting called the next couple days.
Okay.
So,
Bags packed, my razor's packed.
we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, well, we'll be here.
Praying for the wrong thing, living life their way, hoping that you see change.
You know, if you want to have a beard and you don't want to be judged I think nowadays that's not an issue, you know what I mean, for the most part. People don't really expect everyone to be clean shaven nowadays, unless you're, you know, old timers still do, I guess, some of them. So I'm a carpenter, and I've been in the trades for 15 plus years, and so the beard goes right along with that, like no problem at all, you know what I mean? People almost expect you to have some sort of facial hair or a beard, or like, I mean, almost everybody that I work with has a beard, and the owner isn't crazy about it, but I don't know, it's not like a big enough deal to him to where he's gonna, you know, do anything like fire me with a beard, you know, that's not an issue.
Whoa, long ago, when our freedom was our guest, living on a dream from the feeling in our chest, loving in the air, we were fighting hand in hand, yeah, liberty and justice was our only demand. On his death day, my granddaddy, well, he made a decree. He said, listen closely, my boy, they won't stop until we all bleed. They won't stop.
I mean, you know, you get tired of the same old thing. You're like, I wonder what I would look like. Every time I do it though, I'm always like, oh, that's right, I don't have a chin. That's why I agree with the beard.
I was working for airlines about 18 years in the airline business. Not happy, miserable in my job, looking for something to do where people were happy, and decided to go to barber school. Quit my job and went to barber school.
Before you and I, fiery clouds are blazing, cast far from the sky. Battle keeps on raging for the souls of men. Keep your eyes on the sun. One day soon it's gonna end. Yeah, enemies are raging. Careful who you call friend. I promise you this one thing. Yeah.
You know, big construction industry up here, and logging and outdoor work. You got your unruly beards, and with the popularity of beards, you know, we have regular jobs. You know, people have their beards nowadays. Those are probably more upkept than the outdoor guys on it for a regular basis. I'd say it's probably about half and half.
They won't stop until blood's in the sky.
I've actually always enjoyed facial hair. I seen my dad, he had a Fu Manchu growing up, and I always kind of thought that he needed more, and my face was cold when I was younger too. Keeps your face warm. Actually, everybody enjoys my beard more than most of my other features. It's always told that that's my best feature, so it's kind of like my standout point. It's what makes people notice me, so I really enjoy my beard. I'd say it's definitely standing out more. It seems more acceptable, whereas it didn't when we, like the older generations. It seems like most men that I see generally have some sort of facial hair anymore. I'd definitely say it's a trending topic anymore. I actually work with CBD. I'm in a CBD e-commerce. So all we do is package, we roll joints and cigarettes with CBD, and we send everything out.
We won't stop it now, we won't stop it now. We won't stop until blood's in the sky. We won't stop it now, we won't stop it now. We won't stop until blood's in the sky. We won't stop it now, we won't stop it now. We won't stop until blood's in the sky. We won't stop it now, we won't stop it now. We won't stop until blood's in the sky. We won't stop it now, we won't stop it now. We won't stop until blood's in the sky. We won't stop it now, we won't stop it now. We won't stop until blood's in the sky.
Growing up, yeah, I was shaving all the time, especially in college. It was a pain. I had to be clean shaven, and I didn't want to be. Definitely not what I wanted to do, but now I can kind of free range. Definitely less hassle.
Take all the vile from your world and put it on my back. Pierce my skin, leave me dry.
I've always liked the old school feel. You know, I've always thought it was super cool. You know, you look at old pictures and old movies and stuff like that, and the guys are hanging out bullshitting, you know what I mean? And you got people out front playing chess type thing. You know what I mean? That's always been kind of hit me, you know what I mean? I've always been told to have an old soul, and that's kind of what it was. So I started this about 10 years ago, and I didn't open up or want to at the time because I was younger. I wanted to have fun and stuff like that. And the opportunity finally 10 years later came along, and I just took it, was able to do it. You know, I eventually want this place to be, you know, where guys are hanging out and bullshitting, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be like that safe haven, like that middle ground, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter what your political views are, what anything is, you know what I mean? You can come into a barbershop, bullshit the whole time you're here, you know what I mean? And then when you leave, it's all the same. You know, you can go on about your day, but in the barbershop, it's shop talk, you know?
'Cause he dragged his feet for the last day. Well, my words are as loud as my acts. If you don't believe me, you better make way. They call me a changer. They call me the rain. They called me a sinner. Oh, they call me the same.
With female barbers, yeah. It's nice. I actually have 2 girls that work here, and they do amazing. They're not employees, actually. They're independent contractors. So they're able to they rent the station that they work at, and are able to, you know, they pay me a monthly rent, and they use my name of the shop as their, you know, business and stuff like that. But I mean, just in general, over the 10 years that I've been doing this, I mean, there are numerous famous female barbers or barberettes. You know, one of them that I follow on Instagram, her name is Pope the Barber, and she's phenomenal, you know. And I tell people all the time, especially here, because everybody thinks it's such a male dominant when you're a barber, you know, and they're like, well, females really don't do. I'm like, no, they do, and they do good. You know, some of these girls will run, I mean, I've been told that I'm pretty good, and some of these girls run circles around me. So, you know, it's nice to see that it's slowly switching over to where, you know what I mean? If you're in a barbershop, you're a barber. If you're in a salon, you're a hairdresser. So.
I'm a delivery driver for FedEx. You know, if you keep it clean, if you keep it contoured, your face cleaned up, you know, don't come in looking like you have bed head or bed beard, I guess. Then you should be fine. You know, I'm a proponent of, you know, facial hair, as long as it's, you know, within reason, tasteful, good appearance.
Well, I grew up in a little small town. Everybody knew your name. Getting a job at the local steel mill was everybody's claim to fame. We had good times, we had bad. Grandma taught us to pray. I've done a lot of things in my younger days, guess I kinda went astray. Daddy earned everything we had, worked himself into old age. We didn't have it all, but we had a lot. Guess I really can't complain. My daddy was a tow truck driver. Well, that's what I was supposed to be. They say get in line and he'll take you farther.
I've never felt that I have to change my attitude or delivery or demeanor because I do or don't have a beard, so.
They gave me a jail sentence before I turned 18. Guess I've done a lot of things to make them right.
I've only been a licensed barber for about 8 months, but I've been barbering under a cosmetology license for about 9 years. I went and I got my cosmetology license, and I only had it for a year before I decided that I wanted to do men's hair. I don't have to worry about what other people really think, you know. You can have tattoos, blue hair, piercings, nobody cares. So when I got my tattoos, yeah, it was like a gift to myself that I'm free. I book my appointments based on the length of their appointment. If they're doing a haircut and a beard, it's 45 minutes. If they're doing a haircut and a shave, it's an hour. I do every appointment very precise, and I am on time, and I don't have to worry about anybody else. You can't use a straight razor under cosmetology. You can use, I usually use the wall shaver shaper to get really close like a straight razor, but I wasn't able to make that little bit of extra cash doing the straight razor shaves or doing those really crisp, clean finishes with the hard parts and the lineups, and it just wasn't the same. So it was only 2 months of school to do the crossover, and I had been a barber for so long that I didn't understand why I hadn't gone back to school. So I went back.
I love my daddy. I'm thankful for what he done for me. If it hadn't been for my daddy, no telling where I would be. My daddy was a tow truck driver. Well, that's what I was supposed to be. They say get in line, he'll take you far. But I seen things that they just couldn't see. I seen things that they just could not see. Yeah, my daddy was a tow truck driver. Yeah.
I have always cared. Like Brian said, I'm very detail oriented because I myself am picky. I'm obsessive compulsive, and I give the service that if I was in the chair, that's what I would want.
Deep in the backwoods, hunting fish, yeah, was my childhood. Trees grow tall.
I prefer having a beard. I think it makes my face look better. I like it. So that's me. There was some definite beer envy here and there. I started growing it pretty much the day I got out of the Navy. So been out 2014, so 5 years now, and I've shaved it once. So currently I'm a student at Southern Oregon University, working on getting my education degree to go teach somewhere in an elementary school, hopefully. So in the past, I did 6 years in the Navy, and then I got out of the Navy and worked a couple retail jobs and then started school, and I get paid to go to school now, so that's what I'm up to.
Blood, sweat, and scar, my family's name. A whole lot of trouble we done overcame. We're gonna be around here till the end of time. It's too bad for you if you don't like our kind now. Come on now, if you got the gut. These old boys just can't be tough. My bow, my shotgun, my 45, my tractor, my camo, and my four-wheel drive, my dirt, my land, my tin roof house, my God, and my family, and my pride in the South. Those that still don't understand.
So in the Navy, I shaved every day, and like I joined right out of high school, and I was 18 and hadn't even started shaving, and they were still requiring me to shave every day. And then when I got to our ship, when we go underway, we would pay money to not have to shave, to actually grow facial hair for a couple weeks. It's like $20 to not shave for 2 weeks.
My bow, my shotgun, my 45, my tractor, my camo.
I started growing my beard in I believe it was March of 2018, so almost 2 years. I've been in a relationship the majority of the time I've had a beard, so it's not something that was necessarily an option or anything like that. Being newly single, you have to find the person that basically likes that sort of style. There's some people that like the banker look. They want their man with a with a sweater tied around his khakis. That's not me. That's not who I am. So I think it just like anything else. I mean, you have to meet the person that's willing to accept you for who you are. Beard, no beard, laid back, uptight. So I don't think it'd be a hindrance, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be wrong. So there were situations when we were when we'd be eating dinner or something like that, or like we were out having drinks or something. When I leaned in and kissed her or something, she could taste or smell whatever I was drinking or eating on my beard. So that got kind of annoying to her. But for the most part, I don't think she minded it. When we first met, I was clean shaven. Towards the middle of our relationship, that's when I started to grow it out. So she was very accepting of it. There were times she would complain, but that's generally, I think, something that people do. They complain. So I kind of think I'm an older sort of rebel, I guess you would say. But I don't think people look at it that way. Especially once you get to know me, I'm just a regular dude. As far as wisdom, the more people know me, I think they know that I don't have a whole lot of it. So
grow a big grand bell, make inventions. Don't be jealous of the beardo sitting next to you. All the curling and styling you wish you could do. Might say, how could he? But we say, how could you not grow a beard? Let me be clear. All my friends are bearded, you should know. Grave before I shave, I let it grow. You have a shaved face, well, that's cute. But look what my bearded friends can do.
absolutely, just as far as maintenance and all that, my showers are longer. It takes me a lot longer to get ready for work. It takes me a lot longer to go out and go places. There's more to wash. There's more to keep up. I mean, it does. I mean, it can definitely it definitely affects your daily lifestyle. Absolutely. I mean, when you're clean shaven, I mean, you throw a shirt on, you're ready to go. I mean, it also depends on where I'm going. If I'm going, out for a couple beers with the guys or something like that at a pub, I'm gonna want to do it up a bit, So there's that. When I'm getting ready for work, obviously I don't want to go in looking like a slob, so I'm going to do it up a little bit for that as well. So it makes little things like getting ready take a lot longer. There's times I see some beards and I'm like, you call that a beard? Also, if I get compliments on it and stuff like that, I mean, I get asked too. It's like, how do you grow it? It's like, it's nothing really special as far as what I did. Just it just comes out naturally thick. So I definitely do. I definitely do. I can't find. I've been trying to find like local beard competitions and stuff like that. I can't really find any, but I think I do pretty well.
Well, when I first grew a beard, I believe I was in the 4th grade. No, I'm just joking. But when I first grew a beard, I've been growing one off and on my whole life. But when I first actually started growing a full beard, it was actually a peculiar story. It's not like what people think. They think that I just gave up on life. Some people think that. Some people think, well, it was for an image. But I was growing a beard before it was cool because I was trying to make a documentary film about my weight loss. So I said, I'm not going to shave my head or my face or nothing. And I'm going to have a starting point of fat and then have a total transformation and just shave everything all at once to at the end of the documentary. As you can tell, I'm still in that documentary. I'm still trying to lose the weight. The positives of having a beard for me, I don't know about for everybody else, but for me, the positives are that it actually helped me gain a sponsorship early on in my music career. It is because of my beard that I had my first viral video, which was called All About That Beard. It was a parody of Meghan Trainor's All About That Bass. So, yeah, there's been a lot of positive from my beard because I have a whole music career that was kind of birthed out of a funny beard song. And that's, you know, of course I do other music, but it was birthed out of that funny beard song. So there's nothing but positive mainly for me. The only negatives would be trying to eat. So if I'm trying to eat with a beard, it is annoying and you think people are watching you and looking at you because you're always cleaning your beard out the whole time. And you know, it's, you were just eating with me earlier. So you know what it's like. You were like, oh man, yeah, you got a little on your shirt too.
So, I mean, clothes are expensive and harder to get clean than catching food in my beard.
So there's some things that you'll eat where it's no big deal if you're eating like a general turkey sandwich or something like that. It gets tricky when you have soups. You know, so if you're eating like a soup, see my beard is white. So if you're eating something like tomato soup or anything like that, you know, that's going to be very, 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 very. It's going to have it's going to put some red on your beard, so it's going to be kind of showing the public that you're a sloppy eater, first of all.
With like soups and things like that, soups tends to get in my beard a little more than most. Or like noodles, because you get the broth from the noodles that rolls down your chin. So yeah, that's a thing. You got to be a little extra clean when you're eating, for sure.
It 100% takes a real man to have a beard if you ever want to drink milk again or drink soup. I know that not everybody drinks soup. Usually eat it. But yeah, eating and drinking with a beard, it's dang near one of the hardest things you have to deal with. If you don't want your beard to smell like old milk constantly, you shouldn't have a beard. Did you know this? Because that's where it settles. If you're a big fan of cottage cheese, definitely grow a beard and mustache.
If I'm eating soups or something, I always kind of have a napkin. Sometimes I'll go like this over it to kind of, you know, so that nothing drips on it. You just have to be careful. It also depends on what you eat. So, but there are certain things that are challenging, definitely challenging, especially if you're in a hurry, you know.
Now my beard's been pretty tight. I don't have a big eating issue with it. I have occasionally caught some salsa in my chin here, and it dried on, and no big deal. You know, you find that. But normally not a big deal if my beard's so short. I don't have a problem with it. I've seen other guys though get all kinds of goop in their beards, and you know, it's kind of nasty. But clean up after yourself. That's why I have a wet men's room. You know, wash your beard off and get it cleaned up. I don't know.
Yeah, you basically, when it comes to like eating, for sure, like taking a bite of a sandwich. Yeah, I mean your beard gets all of that, like all the juices or flavor or whatever, you know. You're basically just like wiping everything out of your beard constantly after every bite, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely that's an issue.
When it comes to beer and beards go together. So when you're drinking a beer, my ex-girlfriend used to always get on my case because I'd have a swing my PA or something like that, and I'd go and I'd give her a kiss, and she'd always say, "God, I could smell that beard in your mustache." So that becomes a challenge, but you know, there's certain things in life that aren't perfect, and you know, but you get through those challenges. It just takes some perseverance.
Having a little bit of stash is cool when you get the foam off of beer stuck in it, but that's cool.
Gross. You guys are so weird.
I'm a Viking. What do you expect?
It's not fun having a beard when you eat, especially if you love to eat. You got to kind of go in sideways with the sandwiches and burgers, or cut it up in little pieces. That's really the only negative, other than maintenance.
Honestly, if you take care of it and put I use a little bit of beard oil. If you do get any food and whatever, it comes out easy when you wash. I try to take care of it so I don't let things grow in my beard, but I try.
I wash it daily. I mean, it's just like the hair on your head. Beards generally tend to get more bacteria because it's right here by your mouth. Your mouth has a ton of bacteria. I mean, when you eat, there's sometimes going to be food that falls into your facial hair. So I think it's pretty important to get in a really good habit of making sure you're shampooing it every day, conditioning it every day to give it that sort of full body. But yeah, I wash it every day. I mean, it's just routine now. So otherwise, you get food in there. You got that bacteria from your mouth. You just want to make sure you're keeping it clean.
You got to keep it brushed, or it looks like a snake's tongue. You got to try to keep it conditioned and things like that.
It's once a month cut, and then every 2 weeks I'll come in for an ear and neck trim, and then just kind of clean up the beard, and then
Get the scragglies.
Yeah, and then another 2 weeks, and then I'll get a cut. So I get a cut every month.
I brush it out daily. It's oiled daily. I condition it in the shower probably 4 or 5 times a week, and I get it trimmed up about 2 to 3 times a week, or not a week, but every 2 to 3 weeks.
And I cried so long.
The maintenance of my beard is shampoo. I use Tell & Mane conditioner on the beard because it keeps it soft. And I use my own brand of beard oil, which isn't, like I said, isn't released yet, Beards of Alpha. Another plug there for me. Beards of Alpha beard oil, I use that on my beard. Not every day. I use it probably once a week. I don't want my beard to be shining all the time. I kind of like it being natural and dry. But I also want it to be healthy so it doesn't break off.
I have a couple things here that I did want to show you. This right here is your general beard brush. It's got oils in the seams. So basically every morning when I get out of the shower, I'll kind of brush it down a bit, because what it does is there's an oil that your face produces called serum. And basically it's for the moisturization of facial hair. And what this does is it'll evenly distribute that serum so that it basically goes throughout your facial hair. Now, serum isn't always enough though. There is another product I really like. This is just called Beard. It's from The Art of Shaving. Basically what this has in it is it has serum. It has a little bit of an aroma to it. So you kind of like this, kind of rub it in there a bit, comb it through. It just gives you that extra sort of glaze of serum on there. So what's going to happen is if you don't do that, your beard is going to get very, very dry, and sometimes it can get flaky. So it just basically keeps it moist. And if the drier that your beard gets, the more likely you're going to have situations where you get split ends, where it starts to break off, you start looking like shit. So this right here is for that. And like I said, this is good for that as well. Another thing that I do, this is only if I'm going out for a night on the town. This is a mustache wax. So it has good oils in it. It's very, 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 very hard. So I mean, I just got this one, so you almost have to take your fingernail and sort of claw into it, and then you kind of mush it around to where it becomes like a putty, and I'll use it on the tips of my mustache when I want to curl it. So, but this is also very, very good for your facial hair. Also, this right here is some more beard oil that I have. So these are some of the general products that you can get. I mean, you can get them at Amazon. You can go to, you know, specialty places that have it. Just tell them what you want to do, how you want your beard to look. You're looking at caring for your beard, and they'll get you set. So
I ended up starting my own company. It's not launched yet, but it's called Beards of Alpha. It's like a beard fraternity is what it is. So that'll be launching soon, and maybe before this documentary comes out.
Power near me. Well, I'm emptied up of fear.
Well, originally the beard was a sign of rebellion for me because I grew up in a family that were staunchly against beards. So they thought that if I had a beard, I was going to hell, basically. So I was like, I don't believe that. So I just grew a goatee, a mustache, you know, the trimmed beard. I just grew all kinds of beards really out of rebellion. And then I ended up researching and finding out where the actual Jewish people treasure their actual beard more, just as much as life itself. So like the Orthodox Jews, because the Leviticus says not to mar your beard at all, not to cut it in any way. So I was like, hey, if anybody, to my family, I was like, if anybody has a leg to stand on here, it's me. Y'all shouldn't be shaving at all. So that's kind of how the beard. What was the question?
What does the beard mean to you?
It means it's like a. It means Leviticus.
Oh, that's a deal. Well, I signed for gold.
My youngest daughter actually had a nightmare one night, and she woke up crying and screaming. And I said, "What's wrong? What's wrong, Grace?" And she says, "I dreamed you shaved your beard." And she was like very distraught, like. And so I told her, I said, "Oh, that ain't never going to happen," you know, like that. And then every now and then, now she's a little older, I say, "I'm thinking about shaving my beard." And she go, "No, don't do that now. You know better than that," and, you know, like that. It'll make me cry. So it's kind of funny how it's become a part of me. It's become people, even my friends that knew me before the beard, they say they can't picture me without the beard anymore. It's almost like it has a life of its own.
How long have I had a beard? I started growing my beard in, I believe it was March of 2018, so almost 2 years. Almost 2 years.
So I've said a couple of times already that it was my best feature and people like it. That's I've actually been told a couple of times that if I didn't have a beard, I wouldn't have got the date in the first place. So I would definitely say it's more prominent. I mean, there is people that probably don't too, but with me having a beard, I definitely don't see those people because they're avoiding me because of my beard. I'd say it's more prominent in the dating scene.
Curiosity because I think it's becoming more of a growing trend, and you're seeing it being enhanced and embraced a lot more. There was, I mean, years and years ago, I mean, people looked at people with beards and they thought that they were Neanderthals, and now it's sort of becoming like you're in downtown Sacramento or something like that. Everybody has a beard. And so I was kind of curious. I did some research on it and found out that there's a lot more to having a beard, growing a beard, the care of your beard than I thought. And I had to take all that into consideration before I actually did it. So
I come from a long line of non-bearded fellas, so I don't know that I'm related to them, per se. The fellow that made Sweet Pea, Captain Gordon, the fellow that makes the cheese, the fish sticks, he was a big influence in it.
Captain Gordon?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, the guy in the yellow jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's okay though. It's definitely feel the difference in the wintertime. We live a year or so in South Lake Tahoe. It was kind of cold, so the beard was nice. Kept things nice and warm and didn't get chapped cheeks and stuff. So very functional. I enjoy it. Don't have to shave that much. I groom it tighter on the neck, on the sides here. That's about all I have to do. And you know, what do you think about that?
I like it. I think it's very attractive.
I like the way I look with the beard. When I am regular with, don't, skip showers or, not, camping or something like that, in a place where you can't shower or something like that. But I keep on top of maintaining it. It makes my skin feel better, especially when I've gone to soap-free, sulfate-free washes. It doesn't dry out my skin as much. And I try not to have like a hermit beard, so I don't have to worry about weird fashion things. So and she does a good job about keeping my the beard contoured to my face, so it doesn't look weird. So
I started growing my facial hair out as soon as I could. It was when facial hair started coming in, I would shave because I thought the whole thing, when you shave, it gets thicker. So I did that and realized that I didn't grow, like I said, facial hair. In the center of my chin, it's bald. I don't know why, but so I just did mutton chops, and people knew me by those, and I rocked them for a long time. Even when I met my wife, I had mutton chops. And it was funny because she hated the facial hair, told me. She's like, I don't like facial hair. And I was like, this isn't gonna work then. I got a baby face, so putting some hair on it is gonna help. I'm fat, I got a round face. But to get an actual beard, it's kind of funny. We were at a baseball game and a bunch of the baseball players had beards. And my wife turned around and was like, I think you should grow a beard. And I was like, cool. So I went home and did the whole clean shave everything and started letting it grow out, and it just looked haggard. It was bad. But I wanted it to grow out to see where I can go before I shaved it up. And she turned around one day and was like, you need to shave. And I was like, no, growing my beard out. I want to see what it does. She's like, well, we always agreed that you wouldn't do the beard like you could do the mutton chops. I was like, nope, you told me I could do it because the baseball players, and I'm doing it. And, now like it's become part of me. I keep it because, like I said, I got a baby face and the beard helps elongate so it doesn't look so round. But I mean, I tease her all the time and threaten her that if she, gets out of line type thing or we get in an argument, I'm gonna shave my beard off, and she's like, no, don't do that. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, now it's become me, and people know me by my beard. Between my hair up like it is now and my beard, like that's how some people recognize me or, describe me. So it didn't start as like part of me. You know what I mean? It started because I didn't like how my face looked, and so I knew with a beard or a facial hair, you know what I mean, I would look older and wouldn't have such a round baby face.
One thing I do hate about having a beard and a bald head, a lot of people look at me and they think they immediately think, well, he's a biker or a racist or something like that. And that's the exact opposite of me. The beginnings of my sound was black gospel music. So, and one of my favorite singers of all time is Al Green to this day. So then you mesh in, Beastie Boys and Boys to Men and Leonard Skinner and B.B. King and people like that. And then that's how you I kind of formed my sound, my voice, I guess. In high school, because I could grow a beard in high school, I would grow a beard of various sorts, and the principals and teachers would say, okay, you need to shave before you come to school. And one time they actually sent me home until I shaved. And I kind of was trying to take a stand and say, I'm not shaving, I just won't go back to school. But then my father made me shave so I would go back to school. So I guess there was a time when I was, stopped from growing a beard. So people ask me all the time, what would it take for you to shave your beard? And was there anything that you would do to shave it? And I always say, well, there's only really one thing that I would shave my beard for, and that's for like an acting role. If it was like a big time acting role that paid well and it was like a reoccurring thing, then I would shave it for that, because that's a lot of money. So other than that, it would be foolish not to shave it, especially as fast as my beard grows. So other than that, I wouldn't shave it.
Razors they're not cheap. It's a pain in the ass when you have to shave every day and they don't give you more money for it.
I became a fireman and stopped, couldn't have beards. And maybe at that point I wanted one because I couldn't have one. So for 30 years I couldn't have a beard. I had to have a basic mustache, kind of regulation, you know, no more an inch below the lip, an inch out, so you couldn't have much. And that's all we had. And some guys, myself, occasionally had to shave twice a day because our beards would get too thick at night, so we had to shave. That was kind of a seasonal thing with me. My beard grew heavier in the winter. And then after I retired, like most firemen, we grew beards, maybe because we couldn't. And now we can. And I don't like a shabby beard. I like it still kind of tight. Now it's turning gray. But that's how it is. I don't know what to do about that.
It looks good, gray.
It looks good, gray, the wife thinks. So
Yeah.
she likes it, I like it.
It's definitely a part of who I am. I tried growing a beard in high school, which was rough being in the food industry. I worked at restaurants and things like that. And I always loved it then, even though it was patchy and it wasn't coming in right. But I always thought back when I was in high school, I was like, man, a beard is awesome. Like, I'd really love to have this. And now that I've had one, like, it's definitely a part of who I am. I wouldn't feel the same without it.
It was never really an issue. I 100% didn't like shaving. 100%, that's why I have a beard. But yeah, shaving is a nuisance. Even now, just the little undercut shaving. No, I don't really like it. I have a lot better things to do.
It's like having a child, if you loved your child. You know, once you have it, you know, you think of all the work you put into it, you know, the raising it, the grooming of it, going to places to get it, you know, cleaned up a bit, the amount of money you spend on products. It's too, you know, there's been an investment here, you know, and I don't know if I want to get rid of it now. I mean, unless I was forced to, I don't think I would.
No, I was pretty normal. Hands off.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah.
You're surprised what I've heard.
A lot of my clients have people that
Just
come up
walk
and
up to them
ask
and they're like-
permission. Can I please touch your beard?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very
That's
common.
like a very, very common thing.
People do ask me about touching my beard. They do. I don't know if it's because of the density of it, or they want to know how it feels, or if it's just out of curiosity. So, but yeah, people do come up to me and ask if they could touch it, and sometimes it's a little odd, but sometimes it's flattering. Depends on who the person is, though. And of course, how clean their hands are, I guess. Or if I have it groomed a certain way, or I have like some product in there that's, you know, where I have it shaped a certain way. If that's the case, I'd have to say no. So, but it depends on also my mood.
I trimmed it down to like almost stubble one time, but get it trimmed. We've taken off length for, you know, formal occasions like weddings or something like that, but not completely taken a shave.
Well, we did the straight razor shave once.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
that was for my practice.
Oh yeah.
When I was first straight razor shaving, we shaved it off, and
yeah,
he was nice enough to sacrifice his beard.
Yeah, I was one of her guinea pigs. So.
But how did I do? I did good, right?
Correct. It did not.
You're alive. You're here.
Yeah, did not nick any veins. Whatever. I didn't bleed out in front of other students, so that was all good.
There was a guy that I work with, and he says, you know, when you first started growing it out, people kind of like didn't recognize you and stuff, especially if they hadn't seen me for a while. But then now, he's like, now it's just you. It's who you are now, you know. But if I ever did shave it off, hypothetically speaking, I'd keep the mustache so I can do the curl. So but it becomes like a lifestyle. You know, it becomes sort of like who you are. I mean, you give yourself plenty of time in the shower, so you can condition it, shampoo it, things like that. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes with it. You know, I mean, so it's a commitment.
There's women that have come up and said, "Can I touch your beard?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure." And they'll touch it, and then they'll act like they're having. It seems like they're having an orgasm or something. I don't know if you can keep that in there or not, but they start making noises. I'm like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa!" I didn't know that's what you meant, you know. And so that's strange. And then there was this crazy story. I was at the FedEx Forum years ago. I'll try to summarize this as quickly as possible. I was at the FedEx Forum years ago. In the wintertime, I used to wear beanies, and I still do sometimes. And my beard was nowhere near this long yet. It was just kind of just hanging off my chin just a little bit. And it was during the era of Zac Brown band. So everybody always told me back then, it was like, oh, you look like Zac Brown. You remind me of Zac. I didn't know who that was until I looked him up because of so many people. And I said, hey, I like this guy's music actually back then. So I went to a concert with my buddy. We had floor passes, and we also had we were blessed to get a suite box as well to watch the show. So we were in the suite box, and then all the people were down on the floor. We walked down to the floor, and as we're walking down, this one girl looks up, because I got the beanie on. She looks up, and she screams, just like a blood-curdling scream. And I'm like, what in the world is wrong with you? And she goes, it's Zac Brown. So then this whole side of the FedEx Forum at the bottom starts going, like that. And I'm like, no, I'm not Zac Brown. I'm not. We finally got him calmed down, and everybody else is like, what in the world is going on? We finally got him calmed down. So we got the security finally let us go off into the floor. So then we get him to the floor, and then at the very back, like these people are from the stage back, and I tap on this guy's shoulder because I'm like, let's see how close we can get. I tap on this guy's shoulder to try to get to the front of the stage, and he turns around and sees me, and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He starts making way, and there's a straight line to the stage. All the way to the stage, a straight line. And so we walk all the way to the front. When we get to the front, as we're walking by, just people just touching me like I'm a celebrity, right? And we get to the front of the stage, and we just sit there. We're just standing there now. And then people are starting to go, oh, what's going on here? Because they thought I was Zac Brown. And I said, man, I told my buddy, I said, we probably should go back because it's going to be bad. There's a lot of alcohol involved here. So he said, yeah, you're probably right. So I said, hey, appreciate y'all letting us see the stage. And we start walking the opposite way, like around the side. And as we're walking around, these two women, like that didn't see the middle, they couldn't see. So two women go, you got to take, like that. And their boyfriend or husband, whoever, comes up and says, oh, you got to take a picture with my girls. And I said, well, I'm not Zac Brown. He looks at me, he goes, oh, nobody's going to know. And I take the picture anyway. I said, all right. I take the picture, and I'm sure he went and took that and said Zac Brown in the audience or something. So that's the craziest story that's beard related that I have.
The reactions that I get are it depends on the scenario. It depends on the situation. It depends on where we're at. At breweries, people love it. People love it. I mean, I've had dudes come up to me and ask if they could touch it. I've had people come up to me and ask if they can take selfies with it. So I mean, that's obviously a really, really positive thing. But there's some other places you go that are more hoity-toity, where people kind of look at you and say, "Why do you have that on your face?" You know. So it depends on where I'm at. So
in the business sector, I don't have a problem with it. It's just a social normity right now. I guess that's a word. I still see people in the business sector having tight beards, nothing really Grizzly Adamish type stuff, unless you're in more of the rural areas. But business seems to keep still tight grooming standards with the beards and the mustaches. I don't see too many guys having crazy beards. And yeah, you know, it's how everyone flows. It's fine. I don't think it really affects the knowledge of the individual in their business. If they're working with other people out of the country that don't have beards, it might be an issue because people are, you know, worried about how that looks. But I don't see a big issue with changing as long as it's not a safety issue where you work, where your beard can get hung up in mechanical stuff, or you know, let it roll, let it grow.
That's something California is doing that I actually agree with, which is weird. I think the workforce has completely I think the workforce has completely sort of gone more laxed. You know, it's hard to say if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, as long as people are showing up and doing what they're supposed to do, I mean, that's the most important thing. But, you know, I mean, I think there's just certain things that were looked down upon 10, 20, 30 years ago that are now becoming more of the norm. Beards, for example. People are coming in with beards now. People have tattoos all over their arms. And that's becoming more of an accepted thing. I think it's a good thing. I don't think anybody expressing who they are or being who they are, because it's about being an individual. I think that's the most important thing. And then as long as it doesn't affect your work ethic, can't see it affecting your work ethic or anything like that. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. So, but I same thing with tattoos.
Oh, on my guitar, the signatures. They're well, when I first bought it, I bought several guitars trying to learn how to play the guitar, and they were all cheap guitars, like $400, $500, $300, like that. And I never did learn. I just always handed those to somebody else after they got old, and I never played them. And then the final time that I bought a guitar to learn was the Martin that I bought, and it was like $2,000 or something. So I said, if I spend $2,000, that forced me to learn. So I did that. I spent that money and I started learning. And then I said, had access to go to these shows and get front stage, because I had a buddy that was involved in certain shows, and so I was going and I was getting autographs on my guitar to be kind of like an ode to force me to say, okay, these guys play, you need to play. These are musicians. You need to, if they're going to sign your guitar, you need to know how to play it. So anyway, I got Charlie Daniels, Willie Nelson, Jim Vest, who's a friend of mine, I think Tracy Lawrence. But the final one that I got turned out to be the most important one, which was B.B. King. I was at his show on the front row, and he was playing his show kind of like in a place like this, and he was playing his show, and he stops the show in the middle of it. He tells them to turn the house lights on, and he looks over at me, and he says, as long as that man right there is having a good time, so am I. And he just starts playing again. And it was just so crazy. I'm looking around like, is he talking to me? I couldn't believe it. And then, so after the show, at the end of the show, he wants people to come to the front, and I let everybody else come because I'd been on the front row. He's in the middle of the thing. He's sitting in a chair. He tries to throw these guitar picks to his fans, but the guitar picks won't reach. The fans are trying to get up there and get them. The security guards are throwing them off. B.B. King's getting mad. He's telling them to leave him alone. He ends up taking his gold off of his body and throwing it to the fans. And I'm thinking, I probably should have went ahead and got up there on that stage. I got by that stage. Nonetheless, I was blessed enough to get to go backstage. So they're leading us backstage with this flashlight. You can only see what's right in front of you, and there's this wall of like security guards standing there. And as I'm walking by, this massive hand reaches out and grabs my hand and starts pulling me towards the security guards. And I'm like, what in the world is happening? And they're kind of pushing me like this, like, you got to go. And then you hear somebody go, hey, like that. And they part ways, and he pulls me to him, and it's B.B. King sitting down in a wheelchair looking up at me saying, I really enjoyed having you tonight. And I'm sitting there speechless thinking, what in the world? How are we kindred spirits or something? What's happening here? So then we continue. He says, I'll see you back there in the green room. And I was like, man, like if it just ended right there, it was amazing, but it didn't. I was waiting in line, and I was watching BB's management turn all of his people away, fans away that had guitars that were trying to get them signed that were not Gibson guitars. And he was contractually obligated, I guess, to only sign Gibson guitars. I have a Martin, as I just mentioned. I go in there very last, and I hand it directly to BB. He looks up at the head of my guitar, and he looks at me, and he says, I'm going to sign it anyway. And so he signs it. I pull out my first album that I spent every last dime I had to make this EP, and I hand it to him, and he looks at it and he goes, well, well, well. And he says, who's got the Sharpie? You know, like that. And they bring the Sharpie over, and I'm like, no, I won't. I thought he thought I wanted him to sign it for me, but I wanted him to have it. And I was like, no, that's for you to have. He goes, I know who it's for. And he hands it back to me, and he says, sign that to B.B. King for me. So I signed my very first album ever to B.B. King. And I like to think that he that he rode with that on his bus the rest of his life. And he signed my guitar, and it could possibly be the only Martin in the world signed by B.B. King. So it's a treasure. That guitar right there is a treasure, for sure.
You know, I think men with beards sort of feel a connection with each other. You know, you can compliment another man's beard and not think that he's going to get weirded out by it, you know? So there's always that connection. I've had people come up to me and give me compliments on mine. I've gone up to other people and given them compliments on theirs. So it brings people together. You know, it's if we wanted to end tyranny and start world peace, men should start growing beards.
My favorite thing about owning my own business, the freedom. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of weird when I say it because, like I said, I'm here all the time. You know what I mean? But I've been doing this 10 years. I've worked at, you know, full service salons. I've worked at barbershops, worked at chain salons, you know, but it makes it more personal when I have my clients come in. So my name is AJ Ura. I'm the owner of Old School Barbershop and Salon. We're located in Medford, Oregon. Hours of operation are Thursday through Friday, or Tuesday through Friday from 9 to 6, and Saturdays 10 to 4. Come on down and see us. Let's clean you up, make you look good.
My studio is called the Dead South Barbershop, and it's just a little private studio, as you can see, that it's just a one-on-one client barber experience. And you can just find me on Yelp, or I'm either on Instagram at my_blonde_barber. You can see my work, and you can even book through Instagram, or you can book through Yelp. So it's pretty easy. You have online booking, and here you go.
Spread that thing out, fan it out. No,
Well, they wanted somebody with hair.
Whoops.
Oh, wait, I'm Wes the Barber, located in Grass Valley, California, in the Sierra foothills. And I'd love to see you. Come on down. Thank you.
My biggest fear today is these lights. Because you guys didn't provide any makeup. Or where are the sandwiches? 100%.
So right now, I do want to say one thing though to anybody watching the video, to anybody who has a curiosity, anybody who has a question, or somebody that's been lied to. And that is, I'm gonna look right into the camera, beards don't bite. I do though.
Shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Oh, we shall not be. We shall not be moved. We shall not be. We shall not be moved. We've been haunted. We've been haunted by life we never wanted. Playing games we were never meant to win. Yeah, we've been haunted. We've been haunted. Choosing sides we were appointed. We live and die, and then we're free again. We've been haunted, the sides we were appointed.